Computer Programming Essentials Unit 3, Part 4. Now let's talk about arithmetic. We've talked about declaring variables and getting input from the user, and now let's look at some basic math that we can do in Java. We have the standard arithmetic operators that perform calculations with values in programs. Each standard operator needs an operand to work. So 2 plus 3. Plus is the operator, and 2 and 3 are the operands, the values used to help the operator do its job. One thing you need to know about Java and all programming languages is that integer division is handled differently from double division, from floating point division. And what happens with integer division is that the decimal part, the part that would be the fractional portion, is truncated. So if you have 4 divided by 2, for example, the answer is 2. There's no remainder. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. But what if you had 3 divided by 2? Now, you know that 3 divided by 2 is really 1.5, 1.5, right? But it's not in Java. 3 divided by 2 in Java is actually 1, because 2 only goes into 3 one time, and then it has a remainder portion. So the fractional part is lost or truncated. Here are the operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the last one there is modulus. Modulus is the remainder operator, and it's used with integer division to give you the remainder. So if we had 45 divided by 2, the remainder would be 1. So 45 modulus 2 would yield 1. We'll go over that in class quite a bit, so don't worry if it confuses you a bit at this point. The basic order of operations is the same as it is in your math class. Multiplication, division, and modulus happen first, and then addition and subtraction happen second. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which I like to say, please excuse Mama, my dear Aunt Sally, so that we have modulus and multiplication. Sometimes when we are operating on 2 different types of numbers, say an integer and a double, some type conversion will need to happen in order to perform the operation. So Java works with something known as a unifying type, and it will implicitly or automatically convert numbers to a unifying type in order to be able to accomplish the result. So for example, if you had 4.0 divided by 3. 4.0 is a double, 3 is an integer, so that 3 would automatically be promoted to a double. The unifying type is a double in order to do the math, and the result would be a double. It would not be an integer. So when you have a mix of types, doubles and ints, the ints are automatically promoted for the purposes of that calculation, and the result will be a double. You cannot promote a double to an int because there's what's known as possible loss of precision. You can't take a whole number, you can't take 3.14159 and make that into an int without losing some essential pieces of that number. It's called a possible loss of precision, or a loss of precision. So Java doesn't let you do that automatically. If you want to convert a double to an int, you have to do so explicitly with something known as casting or typecasting. So automatic conversion will happen automatically, take an int and make it into a double, but explicit conversion will not happen automatically. To do that, you need to use a cast operator. Let's say you wanted to make a double into an int, you would have to put the word int in parentheses to the left of that double, and for that moment it will convert that double to an int and possibly lose precision. We'll practice with this in class. We'll do some examples in class. So to summarize, we looked at how to declare variables. They are named locations in memory, and they must have a type. Most frequently, we will use primitive types, but we will also use the reference type string. Standard arithmetic operators for integers are plus, that should be a minus sign, not an underscore, plus, minus, multiply, divide, and modulus. The Boolean type results in either a true or a false value. There are 6 relational operators. They do not have an order of operations because they you can't chain them together, so they are greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. The floating point data type that we will use in this class is double. As you could see from the summary chart of data types, there is another type, but we will only be using double. And J-option pane includes both a message dialog for displaying output to the user and an input dialog to prompt the user to input a value. Here's the terminology that you need to know for this chapter. Forgive the unfortunate bolding of the first row there. That was just by accident. It wasn't to indicate that there was something special about those columns. All of these terms are terms that you should know. You will be making flashcards for these terms, and they will be checked. These are also terms that you may be tested on, so make sure that you learn the terminology. Good luck.